2017, the year Roger Deakins won an Oscar, Coco won 2 Oscars, and the most prestigious award in filmmaking went to a movie about a woman who has sex with a fish. Yes, this is my recap for the 90th Academy Awards. It's impressive that they've lasted this long, and I'm going to take a look at these categories, which for the most part I did very well. My predictions were very accurate, and there were not a ton of surprises, but I think the Oscars were very interesting this year. The ceremony itself was nothing terribly special. I liked the sets, I liked the production value, I really liked the performances of the songs, and I liked how they clearly respected the art of filmmaking. With that said, I don't think Jimmy Kimmel brought anything new to the stage as a host, with the sole exception of the running gag of him giving away a jet ski to whoever had the shortest speech, which ended up going to the costume designer of Phantom Thread. Okay, so let's take a look at these categories and figure out what I got right and what I got wrong. First of all, my kryptonite in the Oscar predictions is clearly the short film categories. This is the second year in a row where I got all 3 of them wrong. It's funny because last year, my number 2 choice in all of the categories ended up winning the Oscar. And this year, my number 2 in animated and my number 2 in documentary ended up winning. So I thought, okay, clearly my strategy is just to pick the number 2 choice. But then for best live action short, they gave it to my number 5 choice. So really, there is no way to predict these categories, is what I'm learning. Best foreign language film went to A Fantastic Woman. Best documentary went to Icarus. Those were maybe a little bit up in the air, but I predicted them, and I'm glad I did. Animated film was Coco. We all saw that coming. But it was still really nice to see that speech. I loved that speech, and I loved the movie so much. Best sound editing and sound mixing both went to Dunkirk. It must have been very confusing for the audience to see 2 awards being announced back-to-back with the exact same nominees and the exact same winner. Dunkirk was deserving, but I feel they need to have more of a reason to differentiate the 2 sound categories, or else just combine it into one category. Best original song, Remember Me. So happy to have called this. There was a moment when it looked like The Greatest Showman was going to win, and it wouldn't have been an undeserving win at all, but I'm happy that Remember Me won, if only so I can go around telling people that Coco has more Oscars than Citizen Kane. Original score, The Shape of Water. I think we all saw that coming. I'm happy that Desplat, that he has 2 Oscars now. Visual effects, Blade Runner 2049. I predicted it. I'm glad it won. It's good effects. Although I am upset that the Apes trilogy never won a single Oscar in this category, because all 3 of those movies looked amazing and were genuinely revolutionary. It's a shame the Academy never got around to giving them an Oscar. But whatever. Makeup and hairstyling, Darkest Hour. Costume design, Phantom Thread. Production design, The Shape of Water. All 3 of those I think most people saw coming. Best cinematography, my favorite one of the night, goes to Roger Deakins for Roger Deakins for Blade Runner 2049. I'm sorry, I got confused there. But it is so gratifying to finally see Roger Deakins win an Academy Award after all these years, and he looked just so happy and so humble to be there. Like, if it were me, I would have been like, finally! But he was just so happy about it. Okay, best film editing. They gave this award to Dunkirk, which I was not predicting. I thought Baby Driver would win. Dunkirk, I guess, makes a little bit more sense in hindsight because it's Best Picture nominee, but Baby Driver, I just trusted that they would want to give it to the flashiest editing. And I'm happy that Dunkirk won because they gave it to Lee Smith, and he should have won for Inception, but he wasn't even nominated for that film, so I consider it a bit of a make-up award, and I'm glad that they gave it to him. Adapted screenplay, Call Me By Your Name, I think we all saw that coming. Best original screenplay, Get Out. Now, this one came out of nowhere. I did not see this coming, and I'm very, very happy for Jordan Peele. I believe he became the first African-American to ever win in this category, which it's amazing that the Oscar winners are making history. It really is, and I feel really, really good for Jordan Peele. The acting categories, they all went exactly as you'd expect. Allison Janney, Sam Rockwell, Frances McDormand, Gary Oldman. There wasn't any big surprises in them, but to be fair, all 4 of those performances were deserving, and I'm very happy to see them win. Best Director, Guillermo del Toro. Again, we all saw that coming, but that doesn't make the win any less deserving. And now, the big one, Best Picture. Now, I think we all knew that no matter what happened, a stat was going to be broken, but one stat that has remained very consistent is the fact that in the 6 years I've been predicting the Oscars, I either get Best Picture or Best Director wrong. Actually, it seems like I've gotten Best Picture wrong 4 out of 6 times, which is really, really embarrassing. Because I should have seen the signs. I should have been like, oh, well, it's a movie I loved. No, it looks like the SAG stat has been broken. So maybe we'll never know why it missed its SAG. But I think it's amazing that a fantasy has won Best Picture for only the 2nd time after Return of the King. And I think it's great the Academy is willing to branch out and honor more interesting types of films that don't necessarily reflect reality. And maybe this might open the door for an animated film to win Best Picture in the future. Maybe, possibly. I am very excited because the day before the Oscars, the Emoji Movie won Worst Picture at the Razzies and also won Worst Director and Worst Screenplay. And I'm like, hey man, if the Razzies can be diverse and honor animated films, why can't the Academy? But I digress. So this year was a great year for movies, and I feel I can't really complain too much about any of the nominees or the winners. I think Shape of Water is a great film, and I think it is a deserving Best Picture winner, and it's a great step in the right direction for the Academy to honor different types of movies. Coco has 2 Oscars, happy about that. It was the best possible outcome for the film since it didn't have any other nominations. And, of course, Roger Deakins finally has an Academy Award. There are a few things I might want to complain about, like mainly the fact that the Apes trilogy still must go Oscarless, but if that's the price we have to pay, then fine. I think I really enjoyed these Oscars, and I feel they made a lot of right choices. So tune in very soon, and I will do a video talking about possible early contenders for next year's Oscars. Look for that video to go up sometime this week. Thanks for watching my videos with me. I got 18 out of 24 in this category. 18 out of 24 this year. And my average is 17, so it's nice to know that I'm getting a little bit better, but I guess maybe I should just watch those shorts, because that's probably going to give me the best indicator of what's going to win. Okay, see ya, bye.